So what's up, guys? So I was just minding my own business, and I got a DM basically calling attention to this latest leak that might be related to the Dragon Ball Magic web anime that has been the talk amongst fans lately in the Dragon Ball community. And this leak in particular is something I'm going to just absolutely lose my mind over, because apparently there are some new costumes coming out in Dragon Ball Breakers that are coming out as an extension of a special event in the game. And those particular costumes just so happen to be the Gohan and Goku Journey to the West outfits. Now, you might be saying to yourself, hey, well, that's not really got anything to do with Dragon Ball Magic. They even have these costumes in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. But actually, if you look here, if you look at what's being said here, the guy who leaked the information, he basically says the reason he connected the two is that, yes, these are the Journey to the West costumes that we all know, even because they exist in Xenoverse 2 for Goku and Gohan. The point is that they come on a totally specific date and update. So this tells me that it is very, very likely that Dragon Ball Magic will be very, very heavy Journey to the West themed. And if that is the case, I'm going to be ridiculously hyped over this web anime. Now, don't think that this isn't something I've considered before. As soon as I heard Goku and Shin were the main focus of the web anime, my mind immediately went to Journey to the West. Also, the title Dragon Ball Magic, despite the fact that it obviously has connections to the Demon Realm, due to Shin having such a huge role in the web anime series. But it's also very similar to the title of a very, very popular Japanese show known as Monkey Magic. Now, if you've ever seen Monkey Magic, I've actually been watching it a lot here recently. It is very, very, very similar to the original Dragon Ball. The title cards, the wacky music, the Japanese comedy.
Oh, I like it. Let's have a party.
Obvious, Journey to the West theme. It's very, very, very similar to the original Dragon Ball. You could actually tell by watching Monkey Magic that Monkey Magic itself likely had a huge influence on the production and the overall portrayal of Dragon Ball as a whole. So this connection between Monkey Magic and Dragon Ball Magic is not something that has escaped me. It's something that I've heavily considered. Also, the rules that the Supreme Kai have to follow in terms of mortal development, which I described in my last video, are actually identical to the rules that the Buddhists and the Taoist gods that are featured in Journey to the West have to follow when developing mortals. That is actually Buddha's goal with Sun Wukong, is to develop him as a mortal. So Shin has a very, very strong connection to Journey to the West in that he is a Kai, and the Kai's goal is to essentially enlighten all mortals, which is very, very, very similar to the main character of Journey to the West's goal, which is to enlighten all mortals. And if this is the dynamic that Akira Toriyama is going to use in Dragon Ball Magic, you better believe that I'm going to be ridiculously hyped about this series. If Shin is filling the role of Tripitaka and Goku is filling the role of Sun Wukong, because keep in mind, we do know for a fact that this is a journey adventure-based anime in comparison to other Dragon Ball anime like Dragon Ball Super. Not that adventure doesn't exist in Dragon Ball Super, but this is going to be much, much more like the original Dragon Ball, the first arc. It's going to be much more centered around an adventure. And with that in mind, and the similarities that the Supreme Kai has to the main character of Journey to the West, Goku, of course, being based on Sun Wukong, it's pretty clear to me that it's very, very, very possible that Akira Toriyama may plan on using this dynamic from Journey to the West between Tripitaka and Sun Wukong and applying that to Shin and Goku in Dragon Ball Magic. We've got a very, very, very short time before the official announcement, and I just have to say that I hope and pray that Dragon Ball Magic is what I think it's going to be, because if it is what I think it's going to be an intense ride for me personally. Because not only, again, do you have the Shin being very reminiscent of Tripitaka as a character dynamic going, but you also got, of course, Goku also being based on Sun Wukong, but also demons trying to influence mortals to be evil and like have evil beings exist throughout the universe is very, very similar to what happened in Monkey Magic or in Journey to the West. There is this issue in Monkey Magic and in Journey to the West where even gods are falling to earth and becoming demons. One of the things that Sun Wukong has to deal with through his journey is tons and tons of mortals becoming demons and gods becoming demons. That's like most of who he has to face in Journey to the West. So this whole dynamic of like demons existing as a result of being developed into demons and mortals existing as like godly entities because they were developed into godly entities by Buddha and the Taoist gods, like the god hierarchy. That is not something that originates from Dragon Ball Super. That is something that originates from Journey to the West. The entire idea of mortal development is something that comes from Journey to the West. I know that's something that a lot of people don't know because most fans don't read Journey to the West, but this entire dynamic of like Goku leading other beings towards enlightenment and Shin's goal, being to lead mortals towards enlightenment, those things, those ideas are centered around things that took place in Journey to the West itself. So that being said, if you really just like put two and two together and you think about all the possibilities, the likelihood of Shin being a Tripitaka-like character who is having to deal with demons and Goku being a Sun Wukong character who is having to deal with demons is very, very ridiculously likely. And these leaks basically being Journey to the West themed also tells me that it's very, very possible that what I think is going to happen here in terms of the story and the overall portrayal of Dragon Ball Magic is very, very, very likely. And I'm super excited because I'm a huge fan of Monkey Magic. I've actually been watching it a lot here recently because, the title of Dragon Ball Magic reminded me of it, and Monkey Magic is a lot like the original Dragon Ball, and again, it very likely inspired and influenced the way Dragon Ball was portrayed. So this could be Akira Toriyama essentially like returning to his roots in a sense. Like if he was factually influenced by Monkey Magic, which is very likely because it falls in that same vein of like all of the kung fu movies and stuff that Akira Toriyama used to watch back in the day. And also something I'm going to talk about here in a video very, very soon. Akira Toriyama actually recently just watched a Journey to the West film that he heavily enjoyed and praised. And that's something I'm going to be talking about in a future video. But I think people really just discount and overlook how much Akira Toriyama loves Journey to the West. A lot of people forget that. He is a super fan of it, just like he's a super fan of all of the other forms of media that he features in the Dragon Ball series, such as Terminator, Bruce Lee films, Superman, anything that Akira Toriyama features in his manga, he's a super like fanboy of. So this idea that Akira Toriyama like limits himself in terms of references and in terms of influence to things outside of Journey to the West after the original run is just really a silly idea because he is like a super fan. He really is. Like the way you guys are a fan of Dragon Ball, he was that way about Journey to the West and Terminator and Kung Fu films and stuff like that. He himself is a media addict and he himself loves film, cartoons, anime, things of that nature. Like he himself is also a fan of these types of things. So if this is Akira Toriyama returning to his roots and deciding to do a Journey to the West style story with Shin having a Tripitaka-like role and Goku having a Sun Wukong-like role, you can only imagine how excited I'm going to be. Like, you can only imagine how much I'm going to look forward to Dragon Ball Magic. Like, it's super exciting to me. I'm like a huge Journey to the West fan. I'm a huge fan of most media that Akira Toriyama features in his manga, and Journey to the West is one of the biggest amongst the things that he features in Dragon Ball for me personally. I mean, if you've watched my videos, this should be very, very obvious. I'm a huge fan of Journey to the West, so the idea that Akira Toriyama is returning to that with Dragon Ball Magic is just super awesome for me. I cannot wait, and I hope you guys are excited as I am. So anyway, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.